So now it's time to take our New York City building data and merge it into the OpenStreetMap data. So to do that, we'll go to Selection, Select All, which on my system is Control A, and we'll go to Edit, Copy. And then we'll take our little checkbox and move that to the data layer. And we will remove the I, the little visible icon, from the buildings and addresses layer so we don't see it. Now we can click on Edit Paste, and it pastes into the data layer with the other OpenStreetMap data. So now we'll click Validate one more time, and we do see we've got some issues here. So some of these are not related to our import. So JAWSM is concerned about these two ways that have the same name, but some of these clearly are related to our import. So building inside building. So let's see what that's about. So let's zoom in, and we see that we've got this building that looks good, but sometimes it's a little bit easier to see if we remove the validation error layer. And everything looks fine, but if you zoom in really close, you see that there's actually two ways and they overlap, and JAWSM's not happy about that. So what we'll do to make our lives easy is we'll select these two nodes and we'll merge them with the M key. So now everything's snapped into place, and I bet if we select and validate, yeah, we no longer have an error there. So we can validate again, just look for more issues. So we see building inside building, we'll select that. And let's see, what's wrong with this one? Sometimes it's a little bit easier to see if you move the object around a bit. So you can see that we've got some areas where it's not connected with the other building. And JAWSM doesn't like that. So in areas that it looks like it should be connected, we can create a new, so for example, right here, you see we've got two nodes and it's not stitched together. So we'll merge those and see if that solves it. And it does. So now we can go to the next one. And relation type is unknown. So okay, so these are no longer building errors. So we've done our automatic validation, and now it's time just to do some visual inspection here. So we'll just zoom around the data, see if there's anything that's looking odd. So if there's any streets that might be intersecting, or if there's anything else that looks odd in the data. But we're looking pretty good here. So the last thing we want to do is just do some visual inspection. So we'll go to Imagery, and we'll click on Bing Satellite Imagery, and we just remove that warning. And we'll just take a look here to make sure that there are buildings where we think there are buildings. And as you can see, it looks like the Bing imagery is a little bit off because the all the roads and the building data from New York City doesn't quite align. And in this case, it's probably a Bing imagery error. So we're going to ignore that and just look for buildings that either don't exist or buildings that might be missing. And we're looking pretty good here, although you see that we've got some street issues that we'll have to deal with. And this might be a good time, but just for the purposes of this video, I'm going to ignore that for now. But you may want to take note and do some repairs of these streets and other issues if you find them. So it looks like for buildings that we're actually doing pretty well. So it's time to upload, which we'll do in the next video.